Welcome back. This is Ayesha, one half of this podcast,
This is Lexi, the other half of this podcast.
and welcome back to Sisters Reading Romance. We are on book three of the, what is it called again? Under the Mistletoe collection, the Amazon
Shorts. Amazon
shorts.
novella.
Yeah, novella, I guess you could say. Um, and I didn't realize that this book was written by Olivia Dade. I knew who the author, like I knew the name, but I didn't actually look at what books she wrote until I got to the end of this novella and realized that she wrote the spoiler alert about the two like actors who write fanfic about the show they're on.
I don't know if she is an actor in it.
I thought she was.
I have no idea. I've never read it. I've
I
only
haven't
listened to
either.
podcasts about it.
Same. I haven't read it at all because the reviews are like consistently like a 3.5 and I was like, eh. And the the podcasts I listened to about people reviewing it were always kind of mediocre. So I was like, well, I don't think I really need it.
It's
Anyway,
also not on KU, so
I think I saw it at the used bookstore ones and I just didn't
I
pick it
think that
up.
was the Shipwrecked, right?
Yeah. And I just was like, maybe I'll try this. And I looked on Goodreads and the reviews were like a 3.4 or something. And I was like, well, maybe not. So I put it back. Oh well. Olive, my fucking cat. It's being a menace. Okay. Let's start with tropes and then we can dive in because this novella um left a lot to be desired, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
It was kind of weird, but okay. Um, workplace,
Yeah,
friends to lovers,
sure.
forced proximity,
Yeah.
one bed.
There's no bed,
But
so
does that count then, or does it just count as snowed in?
I don't know. I don't think it counts because there's no bed. So you can't they can't share a bed if there's no bed.
Well, they shared a little
Snowed in.
makeshift.
It's snowed in.
Okay, so snowed in then. He falls first. No, pining hero for sure.
Yeah,
Not that you
sure.
could tell because it didn't actually happen in this book. It just was talked about how he was pining. Um,
Road trip.
road trip. Yep. Christmas.
Christmas.
Anything else you can think of?
Um, I don't think so.
Um, one of the little what is it called when the people tag in their shelves. They tag things into their shelves on a Goodreads, and usually I look in there sometimes for the tropes. And one of the tags that someone put it, 10 people put this into a shelf called one star.
Well, it is quite, you know, low rated.
Yeah.
It's the lowest rated, is it not? No.
Uh,
Yes?
I think it might be I think it is. I think it is the lowest rated.
Yeah. Tessa Bailey beats it by 0.2%.
Yeah. Okay, let me read the back of this book and then we can talk about this. Okay. Soup, secret crushes, spicy Christmas treats, and heinous holiday traffic. And if one fateful snowstorm bring good friends together in a funny, heartfelt short story by bestselling author Olivia Dade. Nina and William are underpaid adjunct professors at the same university, good God, where winter break is no break at all. 'Tis a season to make extra money. When their holiday side hustle has them stranded by a blinding blizzard in the middle of nowhere, there's nothing to do but cuddle up for warmth and play a game of Never Have I Ever to pass the time. But in the game of love, secrets never stay secret for long. Um, that was
What's with games of Never Have I Ever. I don't think I've ever been stuck with someone and I'm like, you know what we should do? Never have I ever.
Wait, oh no, the other game was Truth or Dare, Truth or Drink in the Allie Hazelwood one. I mean, it is a good author ploy to get them to like reveal secrets without having them have a heartfelt conversation. So I guess that saves the author's time rather than building up a like moment. But that I don't think that was a very accurate description of what this was about, in my opinion. Because yeah, this was weird.
Yeah. But
So
I didn't understand what they were selling, you
hot
know?
dogs? I thought it was hot dogs, but I'm actually not sure. Sausages?
But they didn't have any product.
Correct. They were like the promotional truck that just showed up to be like, we they were in a parade. I wasn't quite sure exactly what they did. Just that they were in like almost like a food truck with a giant hot dog on
I thought it was
the
shaped like a hot dog.
I thought it like, the way that it was described was that it was shaped like a hot dog, but then they added stuff onto it to try to make it look like whatever the heck she was actually trying to sell or they were trying to sell. And I don't actually understood what it actually was. I want to say some sort of sausage, but I'm not sure.
It was like sausage rolls-esque.
Something
Like
like
mince
that.
pies. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, something weird. The whole yeah, that was strange. I what the heck was Nina? So her name is Nina and what's his name?
William?
William. Um I didn't I didn't like either of them, to be completely
No,
honest. But I also didn't feel like I knew either of them.
no. I feel like we spent so much time describing and explaining the incorrect things
Like the
that
food
like
truck thing.
the food truck, the how like they were underpaid, how their cubicles were shaped, and it like,
The
but then
people showing them their dicks from other
yeah,
vehicles.
and then but then we learned nothing about them because like in the middle of like literally the last 3 pages, she's like, oh, after the divorce, because like fun fact, she's divorced. We don't learn that until the last like four
I think
pages of
she
the book.
does casually mention it earlier, but
I
it's
don't
very
think so.
vague. Also, I just, they also teach really random subjects.
Well, that's why she asked him if she regrets his PhD.
Because, like, they have their specialties are really random. Like, I don't even remember what they are. I just remember thinking, what?
I thought they were like just like English
No,
teachers.
they were like history. Both of them were history, but
Uh-huh.
like they were specific to like periods of history and like specific things during that period. I just remember that being weird. I also think this would have been better if it was dual POV.
I mean, how many pages you got? Ain't You ain't got that much.
Yeah, but at least if you got half of it from his POV, you would have at least got the
You got
pining.
55 pages on the Kindle.
This felt way fucking longer than 55 pages
Yeah.
because I got halfway and I was like, this is boring. Yeah, it spent too long on. Also, she like thought that he was dating her friend,
Yeah.
but when they talked about it in the end, none of the things that they did would have made me think that. Like when her and William actually had a conversation and he explained what was happening, I was like, okay, well, that sounds like nothing. Like, why did she think they were dating?
Mm, I mean, yes and no.
I just felt like she overreacted.
I mean, obviously she overreacted. There wouldn't be a plot if she didn't overreact.
I mean, I guess that's true. The plot wasn't great to begin with, so I guess maybe that, I don't know. Does that count for something? Um, Okay. This book is pretty short. It's 55 pages. Do you want to talk about your favorite part?
Um, and
Is there a favorite part?
I honestly like I don't know what my favorite part would be.
I think so far, this is my least favorite.
Yeah. Okay, but also people were very harsh on the Tessa Bailey one.
I know. And that one I think is
Because
so
like
far
compared to the Tessa Bailey one, like
the story was better.
it was better. You had a clear understanding of where you were, who these characters were, like. But like I was just like we're in this like hot dog shaped truck that is supposed to be a food truck but doesn't actually have anything to store food in it. It doesn't have any food in it.
Yeah. The whole thing was weird. Also, we should, because these are so short. Okay, let's go through our favorite and least favorite part, and then I want to read out loud some of these reviews because they're fucking hilarious on Goodreads. Okay. I think my favorite part, um, I don't think my favorite part, I don't think I have a favorite part, but my least favorite part
I mean, I must have
is
there must have been a good part. I gave this a two, right? Like,
my least favorite part is her thinking her friend and this guy are together, but then knowing that her best friend knows that she has a crush on him this whole time and is obsessed with him, and then starts to date him. And I was like, what kind of friend is that?
yeah,
And then it
that's
turns
a
out the
shitty
friend is
friend.
just trying to like wingman them into getting together. And I was like, how did she think that this friend was dating him?
Well, obviously they don't talk.
So that miscommunication, I gotta say, is my least favorite part. What was your least favorite part?
The weird just like the never have I ever and then her being like, "Do you regret your PhD?"
Yeah, it
I'm
got
like,
real deep real fast.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you guys knew each other like that. Like, and this is not a conversation that like you have with like the first deep conversation and then also being stuck in the middle of nowhere in a hot dog shaped van that has
Yeah.
no insulation.
Yeah.
um I wouldn't like the first thing, especially if you like the guy, the first thing you wouldn't do is like, "Hey, do you regret the thing you spent like 10 years of your life trying to get?"
Also, the next question was something like, never have I ever wanted to kiss a coworker. And I was like, how do we go from here to here? Like this feels, at least in the game, in the Allie Hazelwood one, he was being cheeky and that's why it was funny. This one just felt all over the place, like confusing. Yeah, I don't think I have a favorite part, to be honest.
I mean, there must have been a good part. I gave this a two,
See, it's funny, I gave this a three, and then after we
but
spoke, when we
and
saw
my
each
only
other on the weekend, I realized that no, this is definitely at minimum,
am
it's
I
got to
giving
be.
this a two because I feel bad? But also
I
like
mean, I gave it a three.
it's not as bad as a one. That's the thing. It's like
A one is
a
like a,
one is
I don't
like
know.
horrendous and I didn't like it.
So if you DNF something, do you give it 0 stars?
I don't even rate it if I give it DNF. It doesn't count on anything.
Hmm. Yeah, it's been a while since I've given something 1 star. I I think that in hindsight, if I could give this half stars, I'd probably give it a 1.5 or like a 1.75. But I'll round
Yeah.
to a two, and I gave it a two on
Like it had
Goodreads.
something there. It's
Did
just
it? I don't know. I don't know.
I didn't get the concept of what this fucking hot dog was supposed to look like.
The thing is that even if this was a full-fledged novel, I probably still wouldn't have read it.
Okay, I just have
Like
like
Allie Hazelwood's, yes. Tessa Bailey's, yes. The concept of this, I still wouldn't have read. Like if this was a longer book, I still would have been like, man.
yeah, I probably wouldn't have read a whole like book. I'm still hung up on like what the fuck this van is supposed to be shaped like. Because
Okay, let me.
when I pictured it, I was like, it looks like, those like old school hot dog, like they
Piggy
used to do
banks.
like piggy banks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it was like
that's what it
hot
looked
dog and a
like.
bun. And so when they're like, oh, they painted it beige, I'm like, but it would still look like a
A hot
hot
dog.
dog and a bun.
I think that was the point, is that they were like, this is stupid. This van looks stupid.
But then everyone's like, it looks like a dick, and I'm like, but a hot it those that shape doesn't look like a dick. Or
I, okay, let me read you some of these fucking, because this is just adding to, okay, first review, 2 stars. What I don't understand is why they had sex in a hot dog van. At least make it a sleigh.
true.
Next one. Thought I was reading a book about adult professors in their mid 30s, not hormonal teenagers doing it in a hot dog van. 1 star. And then also 1 star. Sentenced to life in prison for having 2 people bang in an Oscar Myers Wiener mobile knockoff, and for her asking if his penis was hers to play with like a toy on Christmas. Jail. Some of these are like absolutely fucking savage.
Yeah.
1 star. This was terrible.
Yeah, I think it's just like through this
My favorite,
journey.
my favorite is gotta be, where did it go? Um, okay, I'm gonna find this one that I just thought was, this basically sums up, I think, how I felt about this book. 2 out of 5 stars. No, there weren't a bag of M&Ms in his pocket. In what world? That's what it says. Because do you remember that part? That was
Oh
weird.
yeah.
Also, I don't even remember why she thought, "Oh, it's just a bag of M&Ms." In what world does a penis that is erect feel like a bag of M&Ms?
I mean, there was a reason why she got divorced.
The more that I'm talking about this book, the less I like
The
it,
less I like it, so we should stop talking about it.
because I feel like you have to suspend belief. And like maybe we talked about that with the Tessa Bailey book, where we're like, you have to suspend belief. This is a, 70-page novella for Christmas and it's fun. So maybe we need to do that and just
But
suspend
the thing
belief.
is like you got like 4 sex scenes in the Tessa Bailey one. You got one sex scene, and they're freezing to death in it.
It also was kind of weird. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't good.
it wasn't good.
Whereas Tessa Bailey's were still good.
Yeah.
So at the very least, like 80% of her novella was sex, but at least the sex scenes were good. This
Hmm.
one is only 50 pages, so maybe a quarter of it is a sex scene, and the sex scene wasn't even good, so that only leaves 3 quarters to be good, and those weren't good either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I.
I think I'm lowering my rating.
What are you gonna? Okay, wait. There we go. So what did you rate this book?
I gave it a 2 on Goodreads, but it's less than a 2. It's like a 1.5, but I can't say it's a 1 because a 1 is something I just didn't like, you know?
One
And I
feels
mean, I
too
guess,
mean.
yeah, but also like whatever. Fuck it. It's a 1. We ain't going back.
Okay, I think I'm gonna leave mine as a 2. Because then our reviews even each other out. Because we both say it's like a 1.5, 1.75. And if you put a 1 and I put a 2, they even each other out to being like 1.5 each. So I feel like we're doing our due diligence still.
Sure. The thing I've discovered in this whole like, just like Christmas books is like I don't have a Christmas kink, you know? And like a lot of people seemingly have Christmas kinks.
What would you consider a Christmas kink? Like a Santa kink? What, didn't we
Well,
read a
which
book that had a Santa kink in it? And I was like, no.
I mean,
What book was that? Maybe it was last year.
I don't remember what we read last
I
year.
mean, in window shopping, when we read that, I think that was last year, she was super into him being really into Christmas. Like that was one of the turn-ons for her, that he was like weirdly into Christmas.
But like her being like, is my his penis
A bag of
uh
M&Ms.
no, was hers to play with like a Christmas like a toy on Christmas? Like
Oh, that
that's
was
enough.
cringe. That was cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was too much. I mean, the Tessa Bailey one wasn't nearly as like throw up Christmas. But that's because it also took place in Texas, which is warm in the Christmas season.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, the further along I'm reading, the more I am thinking that Allie Hazelwood's was the best story of the group.
Yeah, it had like the most like
Legit
we could try to.
plot line.
Well, I mean, I do think the firefighter one.
Yeah, well, that's
You
our
could
next
get
one. So
you
don't
could.
don't spoil it, but yes.
I
That
do
one,
think the firefighter one. You could get a decent 300-page book out of it.
yeah, yeah, that's fair. Okay, would you reread this?
No, I
Would
just
you
lowered it
recommend
to a win.
would you recommend this?
No,
Okay, so far, what has been your favorite of the three that we read? So the Tessa Bailey,
probably
the
still the
Allie
Tessa
Hazelwood.
Bailey one, which people seemingly don't like, and I just think people are delusional.
I I do think that Allie Hazelwood's is the most complete story, but you're getting a Christmas novella that's like 70 pages. I'm not sure what you expect you're going to get. So I do feel like Tessa Bailey's is exactly what you think you're going to get. And if I want to read a whole book about Christmas, a Christmas relationship, I'll do that on another book. I won't read one of these. I feel like Tessa Bailey's is my favorite for that reason because it's exactly what you think you're going to get, which is high spice, little plot, and Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any more thoughts about this weird wiener Christmas
No,
novella?
but I am excited to talk about the next one.
Also, they had elf names.
Did they? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I
they
think I just like
did.
blacked out this book.
It
She,
You read it and you were
she,
like, I don't need this.
yeah, it's just information went right out the other ear, you know?
I mean, this wasn't great. I personally would say skip this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Skip this one.
Okay. Do you want to tell me what you're reading right now?
Well, I just finished How My Neighbor Stole Christmas.
Oh my God. I almost want to change one of our episodes to talk about that because I want to know what you think.
I just what why was there a narrator? I understand that it's
I
like
hated that part
was
too.
like I just like didn't understand with the narrator.
It's supposed to be because of the Grinch
The
thing.
Grinch, and then they started every chapter with a rhyme, like in like the Dr. Seuss Grinch,
Yes.
and then they like
The narrator part was weird.
the
Honestly, I
narrator
read
part,
the
and it was
first four and then I skipped them. I didn't read them after that. I was like, I don't need
the
this.
narrator part. It was just weird because it was like was only interacting with Cole,
Correct. But he was supposed to be the Grinch, so I guess that kind of
and
makes
my
sense.
thing is like this town is like oh it's a Christmas town, but like this is in Colorado, and Colorado's not like snowy the entire year. Like, and
Yeah.
even at the end, the epilogue is like, it's hot out. And it's like, yeah, why are we still calling this a Christmas town?
Yeah, that's because that's their thing
Because
though.
it'd be very different
I
if it was like that there's that town in like Washington State that is like the Krampus town. And it's like a little Dutch, not like Dutch European-esque
town.
buildings.
Yeah.
But I didn't get that vibe from this. Like,
No, I didn't either. This honestly was like it was like a weird Hallmark movie. I also I it was too long. The
yeah.
How Many Were Still
Oh
Christmas
my
should have been
God.
100 page shorter. Should have been like 300 pages
You could
max.
go like, yeah, 300 page max. I did not need to be like almost 500 pages.
The
Like, that's
enemies to
ridiculous.
lovers needed to
Way
end
too long.
it went on to like 60% and I was like this cuz because they were just annoying. I just thought they
Yeah.
were annoying. I gave that like a 3 out of 5. I was like I was here for a good time, not a long time, and I will never come back here. The only time I will ever revisit this is if it becomes a Netflix special.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the only good part about that book was the Grinch strip show, in my opinion. Otherwise, didn't like it.
Eh. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It's just I'm not gonna rate it again. You know?
It was worse than I was anticipating, not better. And maybe that's why I feel so disappointed. Okay.
What are you
I'm
reading?
actually rereading Wolf Song right now. I feel like I needed it in my life. I just love that book so much. I just got to the part where he like finally realizes Joe's like a man and is like attractive, and he like walks into the side of the house. That's my favorite scene. I love that scene. It's so funny, and I'm obsessed with that book. I think this is the third time that I've read it. Although I have to say, now that because I've read the last two times, I read it on your physical copy, which is the old indie version. So this is the first time that I'm reading it as my own copy, which is the traditionally published version. And I kind of hate it. The the pages have like the orange outside and they're kind of weird. And your pages are white and these pages are kind of like cream and there's more words on them than your page. And I kind of would like your version better.
Well, you can't get them anymore because they're out of print.
I bet you could find someone who'd buy your copy for a lot of money.
But I want Raven Song that matches, and I should have bought it before you pulled them off.
I know you should have bought it before they like pulled them, but the Raven Song one I like better than the Wolf Song one. I don't like the edges on them. They're weird colored. Like why are they bright orange? I don't get why they're bright orange. I'm not sure why they picked those colors, but anyway, that's what I'm rereading and it never disappoints. This is the third time I've read it and it's still good. Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to this episode?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, we will be back in your ears next week with another mistletoe novella.
Under the Mistletoe.
Under the Mistletoe. Sorry. And the next one I would say is better.
Better.
So
Correct.
we'll be back with that. Maybe we'll have more to say and less to shit on. And I think I'm gonna look for the reviews again because I think those are fucking hilarious. Some of them are so funny. Um, and yeah, that's all we've got for you today. So thanks for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast. We really like when you do because it's very helpful for us to be found and to be suggested to other people on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and other platforms. So please, 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 please do. Thank you to all of our YouTube subscribers because honestly, you guys are the most engaging and I love it. And we do read your comments. So thank you. And also, I don't know if you know this, Lexi, but there's a Instagram account that only focuses on romance podcasts and they give you like stats about different romance podcasts. And we've been featured like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah. So shout out to them. I can't remember what the account is called right now. I'll have to look it up so we can shout out to them properly next episode. I don't know if she listens to this, but she has featured us on multiple lists that she's put out. So thanks for that. We really appreciate that. And yeah, that is all. So we'll be back in your ears next week.
Bye bye.